Welcome to Aviator DB News Briefing. Today is Saturday, April 11th, 2026. Here's a look at weather across the nation today. In the East Coast, New York is looking at overcast with a high of 63 and a low of 47. In the central U.S., Chicago is looking at foggy with a high of 47 and a low of 33. In the West Coast, Los Angeles is looking at overcast with a high of 70 and a low of 56. First, breaking news headlines. Cessna 208B Grand Caravan crashes in Guyana. In other news, Gulf flight operations continue amid partial ceasefire and persistent risks. Jetstar debuts refurbished Boeing 787 with doubled business class. Low-cost carriers cut aircraft turnarounds to under 30 minutes. Now for the details. Guyana. A Cessna 208B Grand Caravan has been confirmed to have crashed in a heavily forested area of Region 8 on Friday, April 10, 2026. The aircraft involved carries registration 8R-AC. According to available safety records, the accident occurred while the turboprop was operating a flight from Mahdia Airport, MHA, to Mbai Madai Airport, IMB. The wreckage location in a remote area has complicated immediate assessment efforts by local authorities. Aircraft context. The Cessna 208B Grand Caravan is a single-engine turboprop with a capacity of 9 passengers. Safety officials are reviewing the event to determine contributing factors. Local aviation authorities have launched an inquiry into the circumstances surrounding the destruction of the plane. Details regarding the operator and official statements from international bodies remain pending further reporting based on current search results. Accident details. Aircraft Cessna 208B Grand Caravan. Registration 8RYAC. Location Region 8 Guyana. Date Friday, April 10th, 2026. Aviation News Network. Aviation operators continue to navigate complex safety landscapes following a tenuous 2-week U.S.-Iran ceasefire announced recently. Airspace status and reopenings. According to Aerospace Global News, the ceasefire has led to partial reopening of Middle East airspace. Specifically, Syria, Iraq, and Bahrain's flight information regions, FIRs, have reopened, alongside airports like Baghdad International, restoring some Europe-Asia transit corridors. However, airspace closures remain uneven. Large Gulf areas including Iran, Iraq, Bahrain, Israel, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Qatar, UAE, Oman, and Saudi Arabia remain restricted due to ongoing missile, drone risks, GPS interference, spoofing, and misidentification threats. Operators must conduct real-time risk assessments. Official guidance and regulatory actions. National regulators confirm the reopenings post-ceasefire. EAS's CZIB, valid through April 10th, advises airlines to avoid specified Gulf airspaces, with exceptions for limited southern Oman-Saudi routes above FL 320, subject to risk assessments. Ops Group reported March 30th that Gulf operations are limited to local carriers and approved flights via controlled corridors. Operational impact and costs. Airlines continue utilizing detours via the Northern Caucasus or southern routes, Egypt, Red Sea, Saudi Arabia, Oman. These diversions add 1 to 2 hours to transit times and increase fuel burn amid jet fuel shortages from Middle East refinery damage and Strait of Hormuz closure. Delta Airlines has forecast lower second-quarter profits, citing approximately $2 billion in extra costs from the crisis and the Strait of Hormuz closure. The airline highlighted fare hikes, flight cuts, and refueling stops as direct consequences. Industry executives warn that jet fuel remains tight and costly for months due to refinery damage, with no quick relief expected post-ceasefire. Market and geopolitical context. Oil prices fell below $100 barrel post-ceasefire, but aviation executives predict no immediate relief as security concerns persist. Gulf hubs like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Doha limit operations to local carriers, repatriation, and cargo via safe corridors. International carriers mostly suspend services. Industry analysts note that while shares rallied on hopes, the crisis remains one of the worst in years due to shifting tensions mid-flight and conditional ceasefire status. Melbourne, Australia. Jetstar officially launched its revamped Boeing 787 Dreamliner service April 7, 2026, with the first revenue flight of refurbished aircraft VH-VKK from Melbourne to Phuket. The milestone marks the start of a comprehensive fleet modernization program covering all 11 of the airline's 787-8s through late 2027. Enhanced cabin and connectivity. The refurbished aircraft features a redesigned cabin that reduces total seating from 335 to 325 seats, including a doubled business class offering with 44 lie-flat seats. While traditional seatback screens were removed to reduce weight, the fleet now supports in-flight Wi-Fi through a Viasat partnership, allowing passengers to stream entertainment to personal devices. Economy class receives new Recaro seats with improved pitch and comfort, while upgraded crew rest facilities accommodate flights up to 16 hours. Expanded network operations. The operational improvements support an expanded route network, including new service to Colombo, Sri Lanka, launching in August 2026. Jetstar also introduced a bid cash upgrade product for passengers seeking business class access. During the transition period that began in March 2026, travelers should note that aircraft types may vary by booking, with potential seat changes due to the mixed fleet configuration. Low-cost carriers are achieving aircraft turnarounds in as little as 25 to 30 minutes, significantly faster than traditional airlines that require 40 minutes or more. This efficiency is critical for point-to-point operators aiming to spread fixed costs over more flights, with research indicating a 10-minute reduction boosts aircraft utilization by 8%. Pilots coordinate synchronized tasks including passenger boarding, refueling, and flight planning during these abbreviated windows. Safety protocols remain paramount despite the accelerated pace, as pilots supervise external operations like fueling to catch spills immediately. The pilot flying typically handles cockpit setup and weight calculations, while the pilot monitoring conducts walk-around inspections and supervises ground staff. Experts emphasize that speed must never compromise safety standards, noting that streamlined operations ultimately lower costs and carbon emissions. While incremental improvements like optimized pushback angles continue, the core focus remains balancing economic viability with regulatory compliance. Aviation analysts suggest further technological innovations will be needed to sustain these high utilization demands. That's all we have for today. You can get the latest aviation news at aviatordb.com.